And hello, everybody. We are live. This is Sergey from Axelar, and I have Khan here, who is one of the team members on the
Hello.
engineering team, who's worked a lot on the front end. So, hey, everyone, how's everyone doing? Khan, how are you?
Going strong. I think we
Nice.
most of you will have seen that we pushed out this product, this beta product earlier this week. I think we've seen fantastic reception to it, despite being in beta. I think we, good positive response, good points of feedback as well, both positive as well as constructive that we'll look to iterate on over the coming days, coming weeks. But yeah, I mean, I think sentiment overall, it is Friday for us, so I think overall pretty good.
Awesome. Sounds great. And yeah, for everybody, that's tuning in and doesn't know, a lot of the context. So just to give you a quick update on our side, we announced a couple of weeks ago that we're starting the rollout of the main network, which is going to happen, in multiple phases, where we're onboarding validators, kind of turn on various functionalities over the network in the coming months, start releasing some sample applications on top of the network, and so on and so forth. As Khan mentioned, one of the sample applications that we rolled out is it's called Satellite, which is the simple kind of asset transfer application across multiple ecosystems that are connected, and more will be connected in the coming months and weeks, with more asset support and so on and so forth. But the Satellite app, we rolled it out, I think something like 40 hours ago, right? And since then, just seen pretty amazing reception. I think something close to kind of 10,000 transfers in that time has gone through the application, over 5 million in TVL. But it's super exciting. So I think we're going to take this opportunity to give you a quick demo of the app, and then answer any questions that we have in the meantime. Keep in mind that, as Khan said, that it is still early, so it's been only 40 hours. So the team's been working and nonstop to kind of try to ship this. That being said, the amazing reception from everybody. So thanks so much for trying it out and giving us feedback in parallel. On that, Khan, do you want to give a quick demo, and then we can talk about the app a little bit and some of the features and some of the things that and then afterwards we can talk about some of the things that make it unique compared to a lot of the other apps out there.
Yeah, so the demo is going to be quick. If you guys can see my screen, or if you guys can't, let me know. But yeah, Sergey mentioned that the main feature of this app is a simple asset transfer, right, across chains. As of day one, the list of supported assets and chains is limited to UST and Luna assets on Terra, being able to bridge that into various ecosystems across other networks. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to send I'll pick UST from Terra to just picking a chain Avalanche. So you could either select that from the dropdown here. What we've also done within this app is enabled a top flows option. So I'll sort of pre-populate that flow that I just described here. You see, when that happens, a few things come up, right? And these are things to sort of be mindful of. One is what we request the minimum transfer amount to be. And this will vary on the destination chain that you select, right? So like in this case, you're sending the Avalanche, we're asking that you send 10.1. The fee that we assess on that transaction is 10 basis points. And we say overall, we expect it to take roughly 5 to 10 minutes, right? Plus or minus. So those are my source and destination inputs. The last one is, hey, on the Avalanche chain, where do you want to send it? What we've done here is we give you the option of connecting it directly to the address of your MetaMask wallet. So I'm just going to click this button, and it does that. There are some terms that come up that say the app is still in beta. So again, we're iterating. You click here, you'll get to our full terms of use. clicking initiate asset transfer, the very first thing that happens here is our network would generate what we call a one-time deposit address. That is an address into which you'll have to deposit funds from, in this case, a funded Terra account. Because we're going from Terra to Avalanche, and this may be more nuanced than it's worth highlighting, but the deposit address that we generate here is in fact an Axelar address, right? And so the mechanism that is required to make that deposit from Terra to Axelar is a technology within the Cosmos ecosystem called IBC transfers, which if you're thinking about transfers from Terra, the options for that are, as some of you folks may know, fairly limited. And so what we've actually done was built the feature for IBC transfers directly within the app. I guess, sorry, one other thing I should have said up front. This all sort of is predicated on the assumption that you will have downloaded the Kepler wallet. I know there are other alternatives that one can use for assets that you will have on Terra. We don't quite support that yet for this particular feature. We've partnered with the Kepler team in enabling this function. And within your Kepler wallet, you may notice that you don't have the Terra network, right? And so if you don't, up at the top right, we have this, hey, add Terra to Kepler button for you to click, which if I go ahead and do that, you see that I will have already done that, right? But if I didn't, then you would see a couple of confirmation pop-ups come up to verify that that's in fact what you want to do. So with that set up, I'm gonna make, go ahead, Sergey.
No, I guess I just wanted to say, I think, we can go into the details also later, but I think, there will be a tutorial, right, that we posted online, so we can direct people there. There will be a more detailed video. But I think, for the purpose of the demo, let's just do the transfer, see how it goes.
Yep, let's do it. So you see I have 37 USTs. I'm going to type in 10.2, just meeting my minimum amount, hit IBC transfer. I'm going to get a confirmation that I need to approve. And you see immediately it sort of detected my deposit on Terra, right? If you want to view the details of that, this link here brings you to the Terra Block Explorer, where you see the terms of this IBC transfer that I just initiated, right? And this is that deposit address in question that I sort of specified.
And let me actually just stop there, right? Because I think, if you go back, this is something actually super exciting that's happened under the hood, because essentially what happens is the Terra network is connected to the Axelar network through an IBC connection, right? And then the Axelar network is connected with Avalanche through its own kind of cross-chain gateway protocol. And essentially in the transfer, so if you go back to the Terra Explorer for a sec, Con. Yeah, so this is ends up happening a standard IBC transfer from the Terra to the Axelar network. And then from there, given the fact that we generated a one-time kind of destination address, we know exactly which destination chain it needs to be routed to, right? So meaning that we are taking the transfer, we're processing it and sending it to the Avalanche chain. We know like what the final destination address of the user is, what asset they need to receive, and so on and so forth. And so it's a multi-hop transfer across the network that happens. That I actually think one of the first ones in the ecosystem. Thinking about it, maybe I'm missing some, but this is a kind of a 3-chain transfer that happens in this process.
Yeah, and going back to our original screen, you see here that this little window that I had up kind of went away because we confirmed, or the deposit was confirmed on the Axelar network. So what happens at this point is the satellite app actually kind of generously detects or helps you detect your transaction on Avalanche. And so that's the event that we wait for here. And when that does happen, which we see that it just did, we link you up to the associated block explorer. Here we happen to use NoTrace. You can use whatever you want. But the terms of my transaction are made here. So it is batched. So you see my transaction as well as one that I guess someone else would have made. So I think that's it in terms of our demo. I think just some other kind of things to highlight. I think, as I've absorbed the feedback that has come in from our community, the concept of generating this deposit address is a little bit different. And so what we did try to do I know I was speaking kind of fast here, but under getting started here, we have a few helpful resources that I think could be worth going through before you use this app. One is a video of my voice doing exactly what I just did on YouTube. Two is this Medium instructional guide. It's sort of a step-by-step thing of, again, what we just did, but in screenshot format. So you could go through that at your own pace. Number three is the list of token contracts and channel IDs. So here you will have seen that when I transferred assets from Terra to Avalanche, right? What we created for you is USTs that are of the Axelar flavor. So you want to be careful of that. You know, the tokens that you're using on Avalanche or any other chain correspond to the correct token contract in question, right? And so here we provide that list for you per chain that we support day one. And other informational things about the nature of the transaction that we'll have. We have some FAQs, which you can sort of peruse at your own leisure. I think we highlighted the salient points in terms of FAQs, but that's another resource. In terms of issues that come up, if issues do come up, we do provide a means for sort of getting in touch with us. The primary means to date, and this is fairly iterative, so you may see the nature of this change a little bit. But we do have a Discord support channel, or rather we have a support channel called Satellite Bridge Support within our Discord community, which has been fairly active over the course of the last week and has picked up. So that could be a good place for providing a good place that we would provide support as well.
Awesome. And I guess let's actually talk a couple of things in terms of what happens on the back end behind the transfer, right? So first of all, everything was done in under 2 minutes, and as a user, you never had to pay like multiple gas or transaction fees, right? You only send a transfer on the source chain, and then all the transaction fees on Axelar network for the routing, all the transaction fees on the destination chain on Avalanche were covered by our set of services sitting on top of the network, right? So as a user, it's a pretty frictionless experience in that process that you only need to cover the transaction fee on the source chain, at least in in this iteration. So I think that's one pretty unique point to bring up. Second thing is that for the transfer to take place, you don't necessarily have to be connected to wallets, right? So I think, as Canh said, like the MetaMask, you can connect to it if you want. Alternatively, you can specify a destination address of your friend, right, or somebody you send in funds to, assuming you know that that's not, or assuming you know that they will be able to receive these assets. So don't send it to an exchange until they support the asset itself. But if it's like a friend and you know their address of a wallet, you can just enter it directly there, and you'll be able to do the transfer for them. And you don't have to connect the wallet. So I think that's one thing. And then a couple other, I think, important points to bring up. I think the whole app is sitting on top of a decentralized network, right? So Axelar network underneath it, as we mentioned, is what's doing this cross-chain kind of ecosystem routing and delivery of all these transactions. And so this is one of the first examples of a cross-chain applications being built on top of a decentralized stack, right? So more applications will come, more assets, more chains will be supported. But if satellite front end kind of goes down in the middle, you can actually go to the Axelar network and you can continue doing the transactions through command lines. We had community members that built similar versions of the cross-chain application. So, nothing is preventing you from doing the same things or building related functionalities or applications on top of the network. And so anybody can build, anybody can interact with it. And this is just only one glimpse example of, I think, the applications that we'll be able to do in a cross-chain way. I think we have a lot of work going on the back end. A lot of our partners are building around it, but everybody asked for a simple cross-chain transfer application. So here it is, built on top of the open network. Many more to come, and enjoy the transfer. And always looking for feedback. But so far it's been amazing, and thanks everybody for trying it out and giving us feedback in the meantime. Awesome. Well, I think that's all we wanted to share from our end. I don't know if there are any questions that folks would like to ask. You can drop them in the comments section. All right. Well, yeah, if you need any help or have any questions, drop a line on Discord. If you like using the app, also tell it to the team, I think, and to everyone that you see, because it's been a lot of many hours of work for us to ship this over the last couple of weeks and months before that, building the actual core technology and the network. So appreciate your feedback in all shapes and forms. So thanks, everyone, and we'll see you around.
Thank you.
Thanks, Canh, for joining us, and thanks for the demo.
Yep. Take care.
See ya.